Republicans have spoken out against a seemingly lack of civility in American politics. But can the 4th of July holiday help bring Americans closer together in what seems to be a politically charged climate? Here to discuss, presidential historian and friend of the show, Doug Wead. Doug, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We called on you, our trusty historian, because we've been, anything from Sarah Sanders trying to get a bite to eat with her family, to Twitter wars, to one-liners on television. People are saying we're breaking precedent with how divisiveness politics has become. Are we really?
No, it seems that way. I know it, but we've always had it. I mean, we had a sex scandal in George Washington's cabinet that towers over anything that ever happened since.
So in colonial times, they weren't nice.
And immigration under John Adams, the Alien and Sedition Act, said that an immigrant had to live in the United States for 14 years before they could be considered as a citizen.
I don't think that was in the immigration bill that failed this week.
And children ripped from their parents. We had in the 1970s, the Democrats were on the opposite side of the issue then. They were opposed to Asian immigration, which tended to vote Republican. So we had children landing at Travis Air Force Base in California from Vietnam. And then a governor everyone would recognize, Jerry Brown, railed against it. He said, we've got people who need help here in California. Why are we bringing children from 5,000 miles away? So it's never changed. And Elizabeth, there's one more real beauty, and that is in the 1950s, senator in Wisconsin held a press conference, and he announced 262 Russian spies in the deep state. They were in the State Department, and the media, as shamelessly today as it was back then, reported it as fact. That was Joe McCarthy and his tirades against Russian spies. They're everywhere.
Okay, so you're telling me the world's not going to end, and B, you're telling me that politics is a contact sport, and maybe we might want to get used to it. On one hand, does this energize people? At least, I mean, we saw people yesterday, regardless of how you feel about it, they were out and about and they were protesting immigration. They wanted immigration reform. Where they stood on the issue is certainly different. We have various opinions. That being said, people are involved.
They're involved. And I'll get criticized for this, Elizabeth, but I think it's healthy. We celebrate the Declaration of Independence. That's July 4th. Most countries celebrate the day they took their independence, like Bastille Day, or the day they were given their independence, like the Austro-Hungarian Empire breaking up and giving each nation their independence. We celebrate the day we declared our independence, 5 years before the Battle of Yorktown, 12 years before we had a constitution, 13 years before George Washington was president. We are free because we said we are free, and we declared it, and we celebrate the Declaration of Independence. So I think it's good that Americans speak. It's scary. Abraham Lincoln warned about it. He said that America was the last best hope of Earth. So it's scary, but it's part of democracy.
It's part of democracy, and I think what we have to adjust to is just there's so many social media platforms that people can make their voices heard in so many ways, and maybe we're just sort of acclimating to that new climate. But when you look at politics, like you said, or you look at history, maybe nothing new.
Nothing new.
Doug Wead, thank you so much for joining us.
Mark Twain, Elizabeth, said, history doesn't repeat accurately, but it rhymes. And I think that's true.
That is true. Doug, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
We appreciate it.